Coach, you started MAC play at NIU this past weekend. Can you tell me a little bit about what you learned?
Yeah, we had a tough one up in DeKalb against Northern Illinois. I was, happy with some things we did, and then we met again today and just kind of went over some of the things that didn't go well. And I thought we had the week to prepare, which is a huge advantage for us from the mental side. And I didn't think it was our best with taking our game plan and executing it, and give Northern Illinois a lot of credit. The game before they scored 108 points. 2 games before that they scored 114, and we knew our defense was going to be challenged. And I thought there were a ton of possessions where we were in the right spots and were able to defend, and then there were other times where their offense was better than our defense, and we had to figure out a way to guard them a little bit better. They had a couple kids inside that had, I'm not saying they had career highs, but they probably had their season high. And then an interesting stat from that game, we had 83 shot attempts to their 53. And you got to be able to capitalize on those. And I thought we missed a few too many layups and had opportunities. And this was a game of runs, and we knew that coming in. And we just had too many where it was 6-0 runs by Northern, 9-0 runs, and just couldn't sustain that. And then we had to foul at the end. But the free throw margin was something that was not in our favor. And then you only win by 11. And so it's interesting, you only lose by 11. And that's the part that's like, okay, if we can cut down some of those mistakes, you still have an opportunity to win that game. And the greatest part about it, we talked about we get another chance to play them at some point in the season. And then you got to be ready to kind of move forward, bounce back, watch the film, and then obviously a really good Toledo team is coming in. So it's super exciting what this league is all about, and I hope we continue to get some national recognition by just how hard our league is, and it's going to be a toss-up of who's going to end up on top this year.
In the NIU game, you relied heavily on your starters in terms of minutes played, and Lauren and Savannah came up with a couple big games for them. Could you talk about how the leadership of your starting five right now is big in the locker room and then also out on the court?
Well, I think most teams find their success through their upperclassmen, and I think most teams that are good can rely on seniors, and obviously Savannah and Lauren, who have both played a lot of minutes. I was just really proud of Savannah and her overall effort. Statistically, just impressive, especially in that second half. She had a grit and determination to her, and this is a 6'3" kid that was diving on the floor for loose balls, who was getting steals, deflections. She was trying to will us to go on a run, and that showed with, I think, her season high, maybe career high in rebounds, and then she was able to score inside. I thought she struggled a little bit in the beginning of the game and then really got going. And then, Lauren was aggressive. I thought she took a few shots that weren't great shots and great decisions, but she was back, on Sunday watching the film and looking at her reads, and I know she knows she missed a couple people, but that's going to be a work in progress, and we want the ball in her hands as much as we can, and she's capable of making big plays. She had a few just huge runs herself individually, so they were really good for the most part, but always looking at ways to improve. And then we just got to get the other starters and a couple people off the bench contributing a little bit more. And you don't have to hit a ton of shots, but you got to hit some timely shots. You got to do it when you need a basket, and find ways to contribute in a positive way.
In a league as competitive as the MAC, it's really important to have a don't quit mentality, and that really showed with Miami's game against NIU this past weekend. How do you as a coach make sure that mentality carries throughout this season?
Yeah, that's something that we put as the top of our board when we took over about a year and a half ago of I'm not sure how many games we're going to win or if it's going to be pretty or it's going to be ugly, but we're going to have a fight and grit and determination about ourselves. And I think we're still looking for that with our identity a little bit from our team. We can have it where 1 or 2 players start to bring it, but you got to have, your whole unit that's out there bringing that. And we addressed that a little bit after the Northern game, and especially when you go on the road, you got to be able to have a different edge that'll help you when you don't shoot well at a certain point, or you go through a tough stretch or a tough lull, that you have that grit and determination. And we got to get more people on board with that, and that's going to be something that will be and is a staple of our program, and we got to keep talking about it, practicing it. That's my job, to put our team and ourselves in position to make plays like that, and whether it's a film study or whether it's team meetings or whether it's within a timeout, I got to do a better job of making sure that everybody's on the same page with that, and then make that execution go. So it's going to be huge for us, especially when you come back home and you got to protect your own floor as well.
Now, as we're in just MAC play for the rest of the season, what are the pillars of Miami's play that you really want to kind of hammer home during practices, and what do you want Miami to be known for during conference play here?
I think our effort, like we talked about, has to be at a very, very high level. I think our defense has to be a little better than it was at Northern. I think we have to understand how to execute our game plan a little bit better, and that's on me to make sure the team knows that and to make some adjustments. And it's going to start, when we play Wednesday against Toledo. It's a whole different style than Northern Illinois. Very talented group, an experienced group, and it's something that you got to be able to put Northern behind you, bounce back real quick, make a few adjustments, get everybody rallied around each other, and see if you can put on a good showing at home. So we're not changing a whole lot. We're going to keep honing in on our skills and our toughness, and trying to get everybody, as you're in this grind of a season, continue to make individual improvements by getting extra shots and that extra film study that can help you maybe make one or two plays that can decide a game.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.